What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I am your host and captain, Garrett Morlang, and here in the studio with me is...
the first mate, JJ Purdom. What's up? I'm just going to start calling myself first mate. No,
But you're not my first mate.
No, well, because you keep calling yourself the captain, but I figure I'm a little older. I'm a little cagier. If anybody should be steering this ship, it should be me.
But the first mate doesn't do that.
No, that's what the first mate means. It means I'm the first in charge. That means the boss.
No, it means I'm your boss.
I don't think that's what that means. I think you need to Google what a first mate does. First mate is the person who tells the captain what's up.
Are we starting the episode off with a Google session already?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I'm at an unfair advantage because you have Google like directly at your fingertips while I struggle with...
The first mate is a noun. The deck officer second in command to the master of a merchant ship.
Yeah, so exactly what I said. I'm the boss, and you...
second in command.
Second in command to the first mate. You're welcome, people. This has been a lesson by the Super Gamer Boys.
How's your week been?
Well, except for not really understanding the whole captain first mate thing, I've been doing okay. I'm struggling with being tired today, man. I don't know why. I had a great weekend. It was amazing. It was far too short, like ridiculously too short.
Yeah.
And today I'm just dragging.
I had a long weekend. I had 3 days and it was still too short.
You poor thing. It's so horrible to hear that you had an extra day in your weekend. You know, my heart breaks for you because I had to sit through a meeting earlier today that I was literally falling asleep at.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I sat through the same meeting. I was falling asleep.
No, I legitimately was falling asleep.
So when we were going over some of the notes, it was like a safety meeting. Someone was reading over these horrible safety documents that we just have to basically, we listen to it and say, yes, we understand everything that's involved. Well, the person who was reading was to my left. And so I was leaning against their desk with my hand like this.
I saw him actually doing it, and I swear his eyes were closed.
I 100%. I did that so they couldn't see that my eyes were completely closed. Totally closed. I wasn't falling asleep. I was like this close to like dozing off.
Yeah, you know what's...
And then our boss walked in. I'm like...
Yep, awake, fully awake. You know what was even better than that is when they said, JJ, what did we just say a second ago? And I was like, oh, you guys are talking about pest control.
We kept calling you out, and you were right there with it. You knew what we were talking about.
I'm really good.
You're real good at BSing
I'm pretty good at doing that BSing thing. But no, I was totally checked out, like completely.
There was one point I was on my phone, searching what I'm going to buy on Amazon next. You know.
Yeah, well, it's going to probably be some Super Gamer Boy merch, right?
That's not a bad idea.
It is a great idea.
I always forget that we have our store. I should probably go buy. No one else has bought something. Maybe I should support our store since no one else will.
You know, you could probably support our store as well if you're watching our show or if you're listening to it on any of your favorite podcast apps.
Yeah, if you like our stuff, go check it out. Stickers are like $4 or $5. T-shirts are only like 20 or 25. I try to keep them as inexpensive as possible. Like we don't make any money off it. It's literally like as cheap as it could possibly be. For you, because I want people to actually buy it. Like that was my goal. Is like I don't care about making money on it. I just want to get our name out there. So if you like us, 39
cents a day, you can help people like Garrett and me when we want to go to Dunkin' Donuts sometimes and pick up donuts and drink coffee for 39 cents a day. You can kind of help do that. You know what I mean?
Or even $1 a month over at Patreon.
Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, dude. You're good.
Just $1 a month. I know it doesn't seem like much, but every little bit helps. If like all of our listeners just subscribed at $1, we'd be a lot richer.
Yeah, we'd have like several more bucks.
Yeah. You can check that out. Our store is supergamerboys.com/store, where you can get our merch, our Patreon. It's patreon.com/supergamerboys. Speaking of Patreon, shout out to our Patreon producer, Matt Liu. What's up? How's it going?
What's up, Matt? I learned a gang sign.
Yeah, you can't do that on YouTube. No, now that we're on video, I don't think you can do stuff like that.
I think you can do that.
I think YouTube actually like scans the videos and will like block it in certain countries if you do stuff like that.
We're in the greatest country of all. USA, USA, USA.
Okay. And oh man,
Yeah,
I totally lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was talking about there. And also shout out to our Patreon sponsors. We have good old Bill Bird.
Hey, Bill, I got some candy in my pocket if you want some. I don't know why he loves that. And he's always like digging in, reaching for the candy.
He likes to dig in your pockets.
Yeah, he likes to dig in my pockets.
Don't think it's a candy he likes. And shout out to Julie Bates, a.k.a. Grammy.
Hi, Grammy.
Nope, we're not doing this.
Well, I just did it. You can't pull it back now. I already winked at the camera conspiratorially towards Grammy. What?
Okay.
Dude, wait. If I marry Grammy, do you have to call me Papa or Pops? Oh my gosh, I like Pops.
You can't.
You can just call me Pops. Okay, so from now on, Garrett just referred to me as Pops.
No.
What?
Pops, that's what I call my dad. I'm not going to call you that.
I'll go
You're not
for-
going to become my dad.
Okay, how about Big Papa? I like it when you call me Big Papa.
We're also part of the HP Video Game Podcast Network.
For now, until they throw us out for some of Garrett's inappropriate stuff.
Thank you guys so much for having us on the network.
Seriously.
If you haven't, go check out some of the other podcasts on the network. I think you can just search for it in iTunes. If you go to iTunes and type in HP Video Game Podcast Network, all the shows pop up, and you can go to Twitter and see all the episodes that they share on there.
This week, Weekly Game Chat has some really great stuff.
I need to check that out.
Every one of the people that are on our list of our podcast network, there are some really great podcasts, and then ours too. And there's some that are really great. This week, Weekly Games Chat was the one that I listened to, and that, man, I'm just falling in love with their podcast. Give those guys a try.
Cool. Go check that out. After you listen to ours, obviously.
Well, of course.
After you
listen to ours first, and then support us on Patreon, and then, and only then, go and, look at the other guys.
Yeah. And also don't forget that we have a YouTube channel, which, I mean, if you're watching the video, you know.
Right.
But if you're listening to us on podcasts, like 99% of you do, supergamerboys.com/YouTube. And over there, not only can you see our faces doing this podcast right now for you, but for the month of October, the one coming out tomorrow is actually the final one. Happy Halloween. I'm kind of bummed we didn't dress up for Halloween now. I just realized Halloween will be tomorrow after this comes out. So
I did think about it, but I thought there was no way that I could get like the grease paint perfect, so I just didn't even try.
Yeah, should have thought about that. Well, you win some, you lose some. But you can go over there on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. That helps a ton. Like the videos. What I was saying though is we've been doing a special series. So we have a series called SGB Plays, excuse me, where we play through games. Our very first one we ever did, the SGB Plays, was us playing that Impossible Mario level.
Yes.
But for Halloween, we're like, hey, for the month of October, why not do themed, spooky, scary ones? So we've been releasing them every week in October. Don't get used to it. It's not going to keep happening because I'm exhausted. We're going to keep doing videos, but it won't be weekly.
And I'm exhausted having to hear about how exhausted he is having to do all the editing.
JJ is absolutely sick of me complaining. So
yeah.
But every week in October, we've been releasing a spooky Gamer Boys. So the first week played Blair Witch. We played the first hour of Blair Witch. And then the last 4 weeks of October, the last 3 weeks, and then today, or tomorrow, I guess, as of recording, or when you guys listen to this, it will be the final part of Man of Medan. We did a full playthrough. We finished it in 4 episodes, but they're all about 45 to an hour long, depending on, how I basically cut up the videos.
If you haven't had an opportunity yet, you can go back and watch the whole thing from episode 1 on.
Or even if you don't want to, just pick and choose whatever you want to do. Obviously, if you want to get the whole story, start from the beginning. But if you're just like, heck, I'm just curious what this is, go ahead and join in. I wouldn't recommend watching the last one, Cold Turkey, but jump into 2, 3. 3 had a lot of good spooks, a lot of good goofs. 2 was a lot of fun too. Just go check any of them out. We're desperate for views as well. So, but no, they were a lot of fun to make, and I really hope you guys have enjoyed all the hard work that's gone into that. So
yeah, and I got excited right now because he said turkey, so I don't know why I kind of got hungry. I heard my
Did I say turkey?
You said turkey, yeah.
I do not remember saying turkey.
Yeah, I heard the word turkey, or maybe I'm just hungry and I put that in there.
I do not think I said turkey.
You said don't start at cold turkey. Yeah.
Okay, I did say turkey.
Yeah, I heard turkey.
There you go.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, what do you say we get into some nerdy nudes?
It's now time for the nerdy news.
Alrighty. We have 4 items this week. Well, unless JJ nixes the final one, but we'll see when we get there.
We'll feel it out.
We'll discuss it on air and see how we feel about doing the story. But JJ was being kind of a butt beforehand.
Yeah, I was.
So the first one is, as many of you have probably already heard, but if not, as soon as I heard this news,
You thought of me.
I immediately went to Twitter, retweeted the news from Naughty Dog, I think it was, and then I quote tweeted it, and in my caption I just put R.I.P. JJ.
Yes. Yeah.
So just to set this all up, it was less than a month ago.
Yeah.
We got the release date for JJ's most anticipated game in his entire life, because he's only he's a pretty recent gamer, so he doesn't have much history with the whole video game thing, but he's been excited out the wazoo for The Last of Us Part 2.
I have been literally chomping at the bit in order to be able to get...
Champing at the bit, actually.
It's chomping. You wouldn't be champing.
Do you want me to Google it?
We'll Google that crap.
Do you want me to Google it?
Google it.
You keep going. I'll Google
it. So, and if I'm wrong, it's the first time it's ever happened. So basically, I have been not champing at the bit to be able to play this game. And I have a nephew who played it when it first came out in 2013. So to me, the game is only a couple of years, and I've been waiting. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. It's been 2 years that I've been waiting on this game.
That's not that long.
Right. To me, it is. It's my whole gaming experience.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm telling my nephew, man, I can't wait to play this game. I've been waiting for 2 years. And he got in my face like he was going to fight me. And he goes, do you understand that I have legitimately been waiting since the game came out? You and your little 2 years. I've been waiting since it came out in 2013. And they've been promising us, man. I've been waiting 6 years. So your little 2 is nothing. And I was like, all right, you kind of put it in perspective for me, Gabriel. You're right. I'm sorry that I voiced my opinion on anything.
By the way, it is champing. Champ is a verb. It means to chew noisily. So to chew noisily on that bit. So.
Yeah. You know what? I think you have the wrong Google. No. That doesn't count. That does not count. When you Google something in a hurry, oh, you know what, folks? He's on Bing.com. Doesn't count. Had you went to Google, we would have had results.
Don't say that too loudly. Bing is owned by Microsoft. They might never sponsor us if you keep talking crap about Bing.
Bing is really a fantastic company. If you guys don't use Google, please try to go to Bing.com for all of your searches. Or you can just go to Google.
Yeah, true story.
Easier. Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, you gave your backstory. You've been excited.
Yes.
Losing your mind, February 29th.
And then we got the February 29th thing.
We even had a party. We had a party on the podcast.
It was amazing.
Really excited.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a booty dance.
And then last week, October 24th, at 10:10 a.m.
That's when the sky fell.
This is from IGN, Jonathan Dornbush over there.
Yeah.
Despite announcing The Last of Us Part 2's 2020 release date just a few weeks ago, PlayStation and Naughty Dog had confirmed a delay for the highly anticipated sequel. The Last of Us Part 2 has been delayed to May 29, 2020. Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann, who also serves as a creative director on Part 2, confirmed in a PlayStation blog post.
Okay. I'm devastated by this. You don't even need me to say it, but I was looking forward to this. 3 more months. So here's what's going through my head.
When I first called you, because as soon as I saw the news, I was in the middle of a job and like my Twitter went off and I looked, I'm like, no way. I immediately called you. I'm like, have you seen the news? And you're like, no, obviously not. Like I'm working right now.
I'm still happy and whistling.
Yeah. Well, I think actually you were having a crappy day. You were like, oh, this just happened. And like, I'm like, oh, well, The Last of Us 2 just got delayed. You're like, thanks, Garrett. That was real encouraging. My day's been sucking so far. And then you called and told me that.
What a pick me up. You're very good at the pick me ups, Garrett.
But Yeah, so he says, Neil Druckmann in his letter, let me cut to the chase and get the news out of the way. The Last of Us Part 2 has a new release date of May 29th, 2020. I know it was just about a month ago when we had our big blowout for the game, letting media play over 2 hours of it along with debuting. That's
Debuting?
Debuting. Yeah, I was like, you definitely don't pronounce a T in there.
No.
I immediately was like, that does not sound right. Debuting our new story trailer and revealing the release date. The positive response we saw from our community was overwhelming. You can feel the energy among the team members. After working on something for so many years, it's invigorating to get a glimpse of validation for all the hard work. Druckmann said that despite that recent announcement of February release date for the sequel, this is back to the quote, we realized we simply didn't have enough time to bring the entire game up to a level of polish we would call Naughty Dog quality. The rest of his note read, however, it was during the last few weeks as we were closing out sections of the game that we realized we simply didn't have enough time to bring the entire game up to a level of polish that we would call Naughty Dog quality. At this point, we were faced with two options, compromise parts of the game or get more time. We went with the latter, and this new release date allows us to finish everything to our level of satisfaction while also reducing stress on the team. And that's something I actually wanted to point out because at first, I know we were super bummed. We were like, dang it, why? Like, and you can almost like start to get angry at them. Like, oh, I've been waiting so long. Why is this happening? And then I read that part and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. So with that original February release date, I'm sure they could have gotten everything they wanted to get done. Even with like, they could have gotten it up to par with where they wanted it by February, but it would have involved going into serious crunch in the development, like people working overtime and people working through Thanksgiving, through Christmas, through New Year's, losing all those holidays, losing all that family time, working 10, 12-hour days, working their butts off to finish this thing. And then so like when I read that, like reducing everything to the level of satisfaction while also reducing stress on the team, I'm like, okay, you know what? Take all the time you need. Like, because that's the last thing you want. And that's been an issue in the video game industry for decades, is that crunch. And like people like get sick, people die, people like have literally like, gotten horrible illnesses from like the stress and the amount of work that they do on games. People lose their marriages and families over it, like because family just leaves them because they're not around and they can't handle the family can't handle the stress.
It puts it into perspective for sure.
It's like when employees are like losing their lives, not literally, but like getting sick and ill and losing their families, like I don't know, losing everything they love basically to make a video game. Like that's not worth it. Like take all the time you need to make a game good. I'm
the biggest proponent of, hey, I was told February, I really want to see it in February, but I am completely okay with it being a little bit longer and being perfected. Naughty Dog puts out great product. They don't put out anything half-butted. Nothing that they do is halfway. It does take a long time to put out a superior product.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog does it continuously with the Uncharted series and with Last of Us. So I expect the game to be phenomenal. I want it to be phenomenal. I'm totally okay with a couple of extra months of those guys getting to take some time. There was a really great documentary. I know you watched it. I think we talked about it on the podcast. There was a documentary about the making of God of War. It was an amazing documentary.
Dude, if you haven't, I know I talked about it as months ago now, but PlayStation put out, the making of God of War documentary. It's like it was a couple hours long, 2-3 hours long, right?
Yeah, like an hour and a half.
It was,
I remember. Something like that.
It was amazing. Yeah, it put so much in perspective of game development.
It's free on YouTube, so man, you can actually see it free on YouTube.
Yeah, and it's beautifully shot and really actually entertaining as much as it doesn't sound entertaining to watch people make a video game. Sure. And it just put the whole the crunch and the stress on people's like personal lives. Like there's that, I remember talking about that one lady who like obviously during the interview was having issues at home with her husband or something, and she's just like at one point like tears up, is like, I don't want to talk about it. And like, man, like that's insane, and just the stress that all the creativity poured into it. Like you're pouring everything, like all of you into this thing, and so it's like, man, take your time, do things the way you got to do it, and we're still going to be there to buy it day one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
you're gonna buy two copies, right?
Well, we'll see.
Okay. Was that it? Was that wink for Grammy? I'm not really.
I don't know. You're the one who winked.
I know, but I couldn't tell if it was something in my eye or if I was actually trying to wink.
Okay.
I got confused.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a bummer, but I'm also happy that it just means the game's going to be better. Like, it's not going to make a game worse. We just have to wait a little longer for something even better than it is now. So
Yeah. I actually really wish that Days Gone would have taken a little bit more time and not try to rush it out.
I remember you saying, like, the day I told you about this, you're like, man, I wish Days Gone would have done the same thing. Because Days Gone, that was the biggest issue, is it almost felt rushed, I feel like. A lot of reviews kind of came down to that. Like, when I read them, I'm like, okay, it almost seems like it was just a little too fast. They try to pump that out, which, I mean, that had a decently long development cycle, if I remember correctly.
One of the problems with Days Gone.
Yeah, you actually played. I haven't.
Yeah,
played.
I played not much, but I played a little bit.
Did you rent it, or
rented it out of a Redbox, so I didn't have to purchase it. Mm-hmm. But so I didn't have a whole lot of playtime on it. But one thing that I learned is when that came into being created, bikers were a huge thing with Sons of Anarchy. And zombie shows and movies were also really huge at that time when they were developing that game. By the time Days Gone came out, the fad of bikers and the zombie thing had kind of crested off.
Yeah.
And they kind of just rushed to get it out because it was taking so long. And it just felt unfinished. It should, for every reason, be a great game. There's so much to it that is beautiful and well done, but it just feels crappy. And for that reason, I don't want to put any personal stress on anybody who works on The Last of Us 2. I'm perfectly content with waiting a few. You want me to wait another 6 months? Please don't make me wait another 6 months. But I'm willing to wait a little bit longer. Okay? Deal.
Alrighty. The next news story. It's going to sound like deja vu here. Ubisoft delays Rainbow Six Quarantine, Watch Dogs Legion, and Gods and Monsters. 3 upcoming Ubisoft games have had their release dates pushed back until at least April 2020. So the last couple weeks have been like the delay apocalypse. This is what I've been hearing on Twitter, because
apocalypse.
Yeah, I had nice. Bethesda delayed their rollout for Fallout 76 update and Doom Eternal, and then there was Ubisoft. Last of Us 2, and then there's these 3 Ubisoft games. It's like one thing after another. Everything's getting delayed. 3 of Ubisoft's biggest upcoming games have been delayed. This comes from Chris Pereira over at GameSpot. Release dates for Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, and Gods and Monsters are all now scheduled for the company's 2020 to 2021 fiscal year. That means as soon as we can expect to see any of them is April 2020. Although it seems as if it'll be further into 2020 before the first of them arrives. Previously, Watch Dogs Legion was set for March 6th. So like a week after Last of Us 2. And then Gods and Monsters was scheduled for February 25th, which is just like, wow, that's like a week before. Rainbow Six Quarantine was set for this fiscal year, which ends on March 31st, so it would have come out by March 31st. The new fiscal year targets means the games will release by March 31st of 2021. So basically all these games kind of got pushed off, like, yeah, they could come out anytime from that April to March, April 2020 to March of 2021. So yeah, it's kind of out of nowhere in one sense, but then also you hear about how like Ubisoft has actually come out and admitted how terribly Ghost Recon Breakpoint's done. Like how it's just a complete disaster. Basically, it has not had close to the sales they wanted, and there's been just horrible reception, bad reviews on it. And from what I've heard too, I was listening to Kind of Funny Games Daily, and one of the guys on there said he actually listened to the earnings call, like the Ubisoft earnings call. You can go online and listen to that with like the investors talking with all the heads of Ubisoft and stuff. And one of the investors were like, "What are you guys doing?" Like that was a question. Wow. Like, what are you guys doing over there? Kind of like, what the heck are you doing with our money? Because like they're pissed. I'm like, oh man, that's not
so a little bit of vitriol. Then they're wanting results.
Yeah, and Ubisoft didn't pull through with Ghost Recon. So, yeah, I'm out of all of these, I'm definitely the most bummed about Watch Dogs Legion, because after watching that trailer for that, like I was stoked. After that E3, they had the long gameplay trailer where they showed You playing as like 2 or 3 different characters, and how that works, and how basically in the game you get to play any character you want. Like you walked up to any character in the game, you can essentially kind of convert them to work with DedSec and play as that person, which is crazy to me. And then for that to just be like, okay, maybe April, like there's no set release dates.
So they haven't. Okay, so
so
right now
there's no set release
off.
dates.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was kind of bummed out. The other 2, Rainbow Six Quarantine looked cool, but I've kind of fallen off Rainbow Six. My favorite was Rainbow Six Vegas. It was on the 360. You should pick that up because you have a 360.
I do.
You should get Rainbow Six Vegas and Rainbow Six Vegas 2. There's 2 of them. And they are seriously like the best Rainbow Six. They're first-person shooters. I know you don't like first-person shooters, but I don't know. They were just so cool because you got to control your whole team, your squad. You had like 2 or 3 people with you. And it takes place in Las Vegas, like a terrorist attack in Vegas. It's really cool, like going through casinos and stuff like that. It's pretty sweet. But Rainbow Six Quarantine was just like, I don't know, wasn't excited for that. Gods and Monsters, I honestly don't even know what that game is. I don't remember. I think that's the one that's kind of like Zelda-like. But yeah, it is kind of a bummer that I don't know what's going on, but everyone's just all of a sudden got the bug to push their games off.
What did you call it? Delaytopia?
What?
Delaypocalypse? Delaypocalypse, okay.
Delaytopia.
I don't remember.
If it
I'm
was
like,
a
why
good
would
thing,
you like it?
If it was a good thing, maybe. Man, I know it's not going to happen, but with all these delays, I'm just like, please let Death Stranding come out. Please let Death Stranding come out. Like, please don't delay Death Stranding.
You only have a little bit longer. Yeah, just a smidge.
I mean, it's next week, right?
Right?
Am I thinking of that? Yeah, next Friday. Isn't that crazy?
I want you all out there to be aware that Garrett is going to try to call in sick that day. I just know it's going to happen.
Well, so here's the issue. No, I probably won't. I got thinking. I came to my senses.
Because you just had a 3-day weekend.
I had time to think. I had a lot of time to think.
Okay.
And since it was pre-ordered through Amazon, it won't even show up at my house till like the afternoon. The UPS guy usually doesn't come till the afternoon.
So you wouldn't just sit around waiting for it.
I'm just sitting on the front porch waiting for the UPS guy.
It's FedEx now.
Yeah.
That's UPS. Just waiting for the U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking though, this is up in the air still. I was talking with my wife and I told her, I was like,
ooh, is it about me coming over, hanging out, sand shirt on the couch, playing a game? Because I always take my shirt off when I'm doing real gameplay.
Yeah, right. I told her, I was like, what do you think about me going to the studio and streaming Death Stranding when it comes out that night? And she's like, sounds good to me at this point. She needed to talk to a couple people and look at our calendar and make sure we don't have any events going on. But my plan at this point is as soon as that game shows up, I'm popping it in the PlayStation, starting the install, and then I'm going to try to stream it.
You know your internet's going to go out right then, and it's not going to be working.
I'm coming here.
Day. The internet will be out that day.
I hope not.
You have some crazy bad luck, dude. I'm just saying.
I do have bad luck. Come by. It's actually hereditary. What was I going to say? Oh, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me with all the PG&E shutting off the power all around the area.
It could happen. We are in California.
Yeah, I know. Like the Bay Area has been like without power for a couple of days. Like other cities are like a lot of cities around us they're shutting down their power. So I'm like, when's Modesto? Like when are we next? We're not part of PG&E. Like we're part. That's the reason we haven't lost. At least I haven't lost electricity. Mm-hmm. But I know a lot of towns around us have been getting the shut off. So scary stuff.
I'm kind of concerned. You did say something a moment ago about hereditary and not having luck, bad luck running your family. Yeah. My family has really bad feet. It's hereditary. They smell very bad. It's a thing. And I really got to take my shoes off right now.
I have a cure for that.
Is it wash them? Because I've tried that. It doesn't.
Okay, yeah. I was like, it's called bathing. Just take a bath
it doesn't work. Yeah, it's overrated.
Yeah, okay. Boy, we got way off track there.
I don't know why we're talking about feet, weirdo.
We were talking about Ubisoft games getting delayed, and somehow we got to feet. But also next Friday, keep a lookout on social media. I'm going to stream as long as I can stay awake.
It'll never
I'll buy a Red Bull. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm going to sit here at the studio and stream Death Stranding for all you guys to see in its glory.
He's going to charge the Red Bull to the Patreon account. So that's okay.
Yeah, totally.
Well, yeah, that goes without
saying. Of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a bummer about these Ubisoft games. Mostly Watch Dogs Legion. Like I said, the other two, I was like,
are you going to stream it and not invite me? So
No,
you were
you're
talking
invited.
about no, Garrett, bad Garrett. You're talking about how you're like, hey man, I'm gonna do this thing, and JJ, you can watch me online. What the?
I didn't say that.
That's what I interpreted right now.
I feel like
you're not even trying
it's assumed if I'm doing a Super Gamer Boy stream, you're involved.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I shouldn't have to invite you. Like, this is our business. We're doing this. Yeah,
I'm pumped now, man. Yeah, you tell Trudy, we're doing it.
You need to take ownership of this thing.
Yeah. Well, except for the work part. I mean, other than the work part, I'm here for all the rewards.
Okay.
Every bit of the rewards. I'm here for you.
Yeah, I know. I know for sure. Oh boy. Yeah. So keep an eye out for that. That would be cool. I'm definitely going to do everything in my power to make that happen.
I'm going to do everything in my power to like come over here and like watch him play. Maybe he might even let me hold the controller sometimes. You never know. Garrett can be nice sometimes.
I've been waiting a lot longer than 2 years for this game.
He really, really has. Yeah.
The next news story here, Death Stranding. Speaking of Death Stranding.
It's delayed. No.
Breaking news. Death Stranding is coming to PC in 2020.
There you go.
Surprise! So Death Stranding, Kojima Productions' weird delivery man action game. This is from PC Gamer. Obviously, the reason I picked this story, because I could have gotten the story anywhere. The reason I picked it from here is because it's coming to PC. I figured, they're the smart people who play on PCs, right? But then the way they talk about Death Stranding, I'm like, okay, like they're really knocking it, but it's because they're not real Sony fans like we are.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of like, the weird delivery man action game. Yeah, screw you, PC Gamer.
Well, it's coming out on PC,
but anyways,
and it's not too much longer after that.
Yeah. So that's how the news story continues here. The weird delivery man action game is no longer a PS4 exclusive. It launches on Sony's console in November, but we'll be able to get our hands on it when it comes to PC in 2020. There was a tweet put out by Kojima Productions that said the same thing. Death Stranding releases on November 8th. Furthermore, Kojima Productions is happy to announce that Death Stranding will be coming to PC in early summer of 2020. And then this article on PC Gamer by Fraser Brown goes on to say, I guess I have to pay more attention to Death Stranding now. The news doesn't come as a complete surprise, as there have been hints, which I don't know if you guys remember. There's actually maybe a month and a half ago, we talked about on an episode. There was rumors of it coming to PC and that it was going to get announced at Gamescom in Germany. And then it never did. So everyone's just like, oh, okay, well, that stinks. And that would have been the perfect place because it has such a big, huge audience. I mean, tens of thousands of people go to that thing. And then there's also, as far as I can tell, and I've heard from other places, there's a PC following there. That would have been the perfect place to announce it. And then when it didn't happen, it was just disappeared fart in the wind.
Not all farts disappear in the wind.
Unfortunately.
I'm just saying.
But here we are. That rumor was in fact true. It is real. It is happening. So if you have not been following closely, take a look at this briefing trailer. There's a little video here on the webpage, but yeah. And then there's not really much more to that story. But early summer of next year, so I don't know, maybe May or June of next year, you think? Something like that? Maybe around the time Last of Us 2 comes out, it's going to be competing with Last of Us 2 on PC. I mean, it's not a big deal because Last of Us 2 is PS4, obviously, and all the PS4 players will have already played Death Stranding. But yeah, I don't know. On one hand, I'm like, that stinks. It's not a full-on PS4 exclusive. But on the other hand,
it doesn't take anything away from us by sharing it with PC.
Especially with having the time. It's a timed exclusive. So for these first few months, it will just, if you want to play it first, you got to come over to the good console. You're going to play on PS4. But selling on PC only means more money for Sony and for Kojima Productions. So it's win-win really for everyone involved. I'm actually super curious though, how it's going to look on PC, because even though I love my PS4 and my PS4 Pro, games look better on PC. I don't care who you're talking to. Games do look better on PC. I'm not going to dispute that. So I can't imagine playing that game with ray tracing. Imagine you saw that Minecraft demo.
Absolutely
imagine
amazing.
Death Stranding with ray tracing. It's going to be insane. Death Stranding with just on ultra graphical setting and everything, all the shaders and all the sliders. I mean, cranked all the way up to 100. Like, it's going to look beautiful on the PC. And then from there, I kind of want to jump in the discussion. I've also heard some places, do you think this is almost like a way for them to, okay, they'll have the PS4 version, and they're going to work a little longer to get it up to par to be a PC, a little more powerful PC version.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're going to take that PC version that they've worked so hard on and basically made it'll essentially be a remastered version, and the PS4 version, they could easily drag and drop. Well, it's not as easy as drag and drop, so no offense to everyone, but it's
He's
just
simplifying it.
I'm simplifying it for JJ.
For me. Yeah. Thank you for that.
If they drag that over and just come out with an updated version for PS5.
That would be amazing. It's towards the tail end.
The Last of Us came out with The Last of Us Remastered.
Right.
Why wouldn't Death Stranding come out and be like, oh, by the way, PS5 is out now, Christmas 2020, and we're coming out with a remastered version of Death Stranding that has, because PS5 is supposed to have ray tracing as well as 8K graphics and all this stuff. Like,
I think that it'll be easily
that.
Updatable to that. I could definitely see it being remastered for the PS5. It being one of those early games that is ported to the new system.
Yeah, I really hope so. That would be amazing. And what would be even more amazing is if they did the thing where, because I think, what game was it? I was just talking about it earlier with someone. There was a game that did that from PS3 to PS4, where if you bought it on PS3, I think it was Assassin's Creed 4. If you bought it on PS3, when you bought your PS4, if you put in the PS3 disc in your PlayStation, it let you upgrade it to the PS4 version for like $15-$20 or something. Imagine if Death Stranding did that, where if you already own the PS4 version, you just pop the disc in your PS5, and you can either play the PS4 version, or if you spend the extra like $10 or $15, you can play the amazing, ray tracing 8K version on PS5.
I can only imagine being able to play games like that.
That'd be amazing. Like, I would be so cool if they did that. Because instead of I don't want to go out and pay another $60 for the same game. I would love to just pay $10 just to experience it, especially if I've already beat it by then. Like, I don't want to rebuy a game and be like, just to play, a couple hours of it and be like, that was cool. Put it back down.
This is Garrett Morlang's perfect world. That's the way he describes things.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm just speculating here. I'm trying to start discussion, and you're like,
I'm hearing
you're
you.
just over there, just like, yeah, okay, yeah.
No, but I'm hearing you say things where you're like, hey, wouldn't it be great if I could have everything I wanted and eat cake all the time and never gain any? Oh, that's right, you don't.
I don't eat cake.
But you want your cake and you want to eat it too, and then you don't want the fat butt that comes with the cake eating. Wait, you don't eat cake at all?
I mean, but I just feel like they can't, the games industry is changing in that direction. Like, games, especially with things going more digital, like, things have to start giving. Like, obviously Nintendo hasn't gotten that memo because they make you buy the same game like every generation. Like, people have bought like Super Mario Brothers 3 like 100 times over the last like 2 decades.
Because we keep buying it every time.
It comes out on GameCube, it comes out on Switch, it comes out on Wii, it comes out on Wii U, like every time on your DS.
They're great games that everybody wants to play.
People keep buying it, but
if
it's like,
the game is good, you're going to end up buying it again.
But I feel like that, like, people are wisening up, and like that has to start changing. So that's why I'm thinking, like, if PlayStation can be the first kind of pioneers of that, like, hey, like, you've already paid $60 for this game. If you just want to upgrade to the better graphics pack, it's $10 or $15. I'd be willing to pay $20 for it. Just not the full 60, especially if I have it sitting on my shelf and I could just play the PS4 version. But to be able to experience that, like, that'd be so cool. That's just a dream.
You don't have to convince me, Garrett. I'll vote for you, man. Okay. Vote for Garrett for president. Morlang for president.
Morlang Purdom. Put us on the ticket.
So I'd be like the vice president?
Yeah.
But I'm like the good liar and like the one who's like, great in public. So maybe I should be the, president to your vice president. Similar to like first mate, captain. I'd really be the one running everything anyway.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm good in the crowd.
Okay, fine. You can be the president.
Thanks, buddy.
But in reality, it's because we all know the vice president's the actual one running things behind the scenes.
Pretty much. Yeah. And I mean, I'd let him do all the stuff. So if you vote for me, folks, for president, I would allow him to like make all the real decisions.
Purdom Morlang 2020.
Right? And like
elections are next year, right?
I can legally run for president right now. You cannot.
What about vice president? How old do you have to be vice president?
I'm not sure, but you have to be 35 to be the president.
Okay, let me Google this.
I said that to somebody recently, and they like, no, that's not true. No,
It just gave me the age of our vice president. Yeah, Google's so dumb sometimes. Age requirement. Oh, it's 35.
Is it 35? Okay, there you go.
So it's the same as presidency.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. So I have
Wait.
I have 9 more years.
Why does that suck?
Because I want to be vice president now.
I want you to be vice president now, too.
I was going to make T-shirts and put on our store saying like Purdom Moorlang 2020.
Okay, we need you folks to reach out and get this law changed so Garrett can run so we could sell shirts. I think that's ultimately, I think we'd be pretty good
I
for
can
this.
still sell shirts.
But I mean like a lot
Keep
of
an eye out on the store. I'm definitely making a Purdom Moorlang 2020 shirt.
Dude, that would be pretty awesome.
That would be amazing. Alrighty. So this fourth story. This is fourth and final story. JJ, how are you feeling about going over this? Because I know I talked about doing it, and then you're like,
Okay.
I haven't finished season 3 yet, so I
Okay.
don't want it to be spoiled. I'm a
So-
little baby. I can't handle Stranger Things.
If you guys have any issues with spoiler alerts, you're going to want to go ahead and shut down the podcast now. If you don't want to
okay.
hear anything.
You know what?
Stranger Things
Hang on.
season 4.
You know what? Hang on.
What?
Hang on. I can probably talk about this without spoiling things.
Oh, do you got to like, right? And like stop. Like not.
I don't know what you're doing, but I'm not going to do that. I'm definitely not going to make
I
that
kind of want you
weird
to
sound
do
in
that.
the microphone.
I want you to be like, hey, I was going to. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. No, you know what? We're going to do this, and I'm going to avoid spoilers. Just don't look at the news story on the papers here. Just don't look.
Too late.
Just listen to me. We all know you don't actually read the news stories.
Never do.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's not a joke, by the way. Like, I legitimately never do.
I remember last week when I sent the stories to you, I texted you.
Yeah.
I was like, in the text. Well, first I sent the link to the Google Doc,
Yes.
and then like
Then you sent it again.
I said like October blah 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 with this date run a show, and then like a few minutes later I texted. I was like, for the love of God,
Please, for the love of God.
Please, for the love of God,
And like
read
that's
these
all
stories.
he put. And I
That's
just,
all, yeah, I didn't even say read these stories. I said, please, for the love of God, and
I
then
said-
dot.
and I said, I assume this is like, please, for the love of God, read all the stuff that I've sent you and act like you care so you could talk like you're informed of something. Is that accurate?
Yeah, and I don't think you did still.
No, I did actually last week.
You did? Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Anyways, this news story comes from Digital Spy. David Opie says, this is headline, why Stranger Things Season 4 will take longer to arrive than expected. Sad day. Remember when Stranger Things turned your world upside down with that finale this summer? Which
No.
JJ wouldn't know about because he hasn't finished it.
I haven't finished.
Prepare to shed a few more tears because it looks like Season 4 might take even longer to arrive than we expected. According to TV Line, Stranger Things Season 4 will likely run for a total of 8 episodes, just like Seasons 1 and 3. Whether Netflix confirms that to be true or not, the site also reported that these new episodes definitely won't arrive next summer because the cast and crew will still be shooting Season 4 until August of 2020.
Whoa.
On the one hand, it didn't seem likely that Season 4 would drop next summer anyways. While networks usually take a 12-month gap between season premieres, Stranger Things has never followed this traditional release pattern. As fans might remember, there was a 15-month gap between the first 2 seasons, and our latest trip to Hawkins arrived over a year and a half after Season 2. However, a few popular fan theories had provided hints that Stranger Things might return faster than it has in the past. Then there's a couple like kind of crazy conspiracy theories where people thought it was going to come in like April of next year. Although maybe it's April of 2021, who knows? But yeah, so basically we're looking at the, like, if they finish filming in August, we probably won't even, like, there's still months of post-production, editing, all that stuff. We might not see this until, I don't know, at least December of next year. So I'm kind of bummed because, I mean, I love Stranger Things. I feel like I didn't realize this because in my friend group, everyone loves Stranger Things so much. Like everyone's super addicted, super on board with it. Like when it comes out, like everyone watches it, or maybe it's just me. Within the first 2 days of it coming out, like me and Trudy finished the whole season like in 2 days. Every season we've done that. We've binged it like in like 2 days, which is not healthy. But we've done it. We're real good.
He's hearing the demon dogs come up through the basement. I mean, thinks you watch it a little too fast. You're cramming it all in.
But I was listening to some other podcasts and people are like, oh yeah, Stranger Things, yeah, whatever. I'm like, oh, like, is it just me who's super into Stranger Things, or is there more, like, is the world kind of that down on Stranger Things? Like,
no.
Because to me, like, I feel like every season's been amazing, and honestly, I think 3 is like one of the better seasons too. Like, I felt like where I was listening to a podcast and like, oh, I didn't really like season 3. I'm like, I feel like season 3 and season 1 are up there with, like, they're pretty tied to me for me to be like the best of the series.
I'm like around 2/3 done with the season. The problem for me is not having a lot of time, and I really enjoy Stranger Things, but you have to be in a mood for certain types of shows sometimes.
Do you?
I think so. And so I'll go through like I want to watch every bit of this that I can get a hold of. And there's a lot of emotion tied in to watching Stranger Things. The characters are amazing, extremely colorful. It's a nostalgic thing for the way that I grew up and the way horror was perceived with Stephen King in the 80s and everything else. I love all of the atmosphere surrounded around the show. But after a little bit, I feel like I get too into it and I kind of have to disengage a little bit and then go and get maybe some lighter fare. Maybe just going and watching some stupid comedy or something like that. Yeah.
Just can't handle it.
Not all the time, no. I just feel like I kind of have to put the brakes on a little bit and kind of dial her back and say, okay, I'm kind of amped up. There's a lot of stuff that I just saw, and I got to process that,
Yeah.
So that's all. I take it in doses where I can process it. And I'll probably have to binge watch it right before the thing actually comes out in 2020.
Right. So I'm curious though, like after saying that now, if any of you guys, any of you guys out there, if you could go to our Instagram, go to our Twitter, our Facebook, wherever you see because every week I put out a post announcing the new episode. Go to that post and just write on there whether you like Stranger Things or not. I'm curious, and maybe next week we'll kind of bring some of those, and I'll give you guys all an update. We won't go in depth, but I'll just be like, yeah, people are still hot on Stranger Things because I'm really curious. Like, I want to see, yay or nay if people are on, because I know I'm like 100% in. Like, if I could, like, I want to every time. I think the website where this news story is on, it has a whole list of like 50 cool like random little memorabilia or like merch stuff for Stranger Things. I want every one of those Funko Pops.
So in reaching out to us about that, let us know if you like Stranger Things, but also it'd be great to get an idea if you've watched all the episodes of this current season, or what episode did you stop on?
Yeah, why? So if you didn't like it and you kind of quit, let us know where it was and why. That would be interesting too. Because
that'd be kind of a fun thing to talk about on the show.
Yeah. Because I know I'm 100% in. As you guys all know, I have a sickness. Me and my wife can't stop ourselves.
Now I feel like I have to go binge watch the rest of the season just so I can be caught up. So when we talk about it on the show next week, I'm not the only one who didn't watch it.
I mean, you never know. Maybe people will write in and be like, no, Stranger Things sucks. You're an idiot, Garrett. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, you're not.
See what I did there?
Stranger things
have happened.
I know, I picked it up. I was going to let it slide, but...
I was pretty proud. To be honest, that was completely on accident. It wasn't until after it came out of my mouth, I'm like,
hey, did you? I did there?
I did it. I just made a joke. I made it funny.
Good for you.
I made a goof.
See what happens? Osmosis. You hang out with me after a while and you end up getting some of that.
Yeah. This last thing isn't really a news story. Maybe more of just like a deal of the day. Heads up for everyone out there. I saw this on Twitter as an ad, and it makes me really wish I had Verizon right now. If you have Verizon phone service and you have their unlimited data plan, or if you have the Fios internet, like home internet, which to be honest, I don't think anyone really does. I think it's only like available in like 2 cities in America. But if you have their unlimited, cell plan, data plan, starting November 12th, you get your first year of Disney Plus for free.
First year?
The first year, the entire year. It's normally $6.99 a month, and you can go over to, if you just Google, I just Googled Verizon Disney Plus, and it's like the first site that pops up. It says stay tuned, so I don't think you can sign up right now, but there's a little spot to type in your email address. You type in your email address, and then
Hey, what's up, honey? Hey, we're going to have to change from AT&T to Verizon. Yeah, the phone service. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's Verizon. Can you hear me now? You know, like, so basically Disney Plus. I'm still doing the podcast. No, I'll make dinner when I get there. Okay, I know that. I know, yeah. No, I know. No, I'll watch the load when yeah. Okay, honey, I gotta go. Garrett's giving me the look. Okay, all right. Okay, I love you, bye. Sorry about that, Garrett.
Yeah, no worries.
You were saying about Verizon and Disney Plus free for a year.
Yeah, it's normally $6.99 a month.
Nice.
If you have Verizon Unlimited data, go to Verizon. Google Verizon Disney Plus. Type in your email address at on the bottom of the page, and sign up for that. Get in on that. If you don't get in on that, I will be angry at you. Yeah. Because if anything, you could have signed up and at least given it to me.
Well, you could have given us the password.
Yeah, you could have given us the password because I have T-Mobile and he has AT&T, so neither one of us get that awesome deal. Which I was like immediately like, maybe I need to switch to Verizon. I honestly had that.
So sad.
I honestly had that thought. It's like, right now I'm spending
$7 a month for, well.
Or so yeah, it's $7 a month for Disney Plus, or let me see, like $100 a month for Verizon. Yeah. So yeah, if any of you guys aren't planning on using it, hit me up because I'd be down. Seriously, no joke. If any of you guys are like, I'm not going to use it, but I have Verizon, let us know because we would definitely use it because we are hoping to be able to talk about some of the like Mandalorian and different Star Wars and Disney shows that are coming, the Marvel shows that are coming.
Dudes and dudettes, if you actually gave us the password to be able to get on Disney Plus, tell you what, you'll get a sweet, awesome shout out on the show. You want to be mentioned in the same breath as Bill Bird? Do you want to be mentioned in the same breath as M-Dog? Do you want to be mentioned in the same breath as the Grammy? You can do that by sharing your password with us and allowing us to watch Disney Plus on your account.
You can be our Disney Plus sponsor.
Yes. Today we're brought to you by the Disney Plus sponsor, you.
Insert name here.
Yes.
Alrighty, what do you say we get into those new releases?
Of which there's a bunch.
Is there?
I don't know.
I was going to say, I don't think you actually know.
I'm not really sure. I didn't even know these things were in English.
So, October 24th, we had Cat Quest 2 on Switch. October 25th, we had Call of Duty Modern Warfare on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Medieval came out on PS4 October 25th. That was that remaster of the PS1 game.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are like, yeah, it's a cool game, nothing too crazy. Like it's just a remastered PS1 game, and it's a game that people didn't necessarily like.
It wasn't super loved back in the day.
Yeah.
It was well liked.
People enjoyed it, but it wasn't like the main character. I don't remember, Sir Daniel something, like he wasn't like a PlayStation mascot or anything. So people are like, okay, cool, yeah, that was fun.
It's kind of one of those weird like. Why did they remake that? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You know, it didn't have a whole lot of fanfare. So I don't remember anybody oh my gosh, they're remaking Medieval. Oh no, yeah.
When they first showed the trailer, it was at PSX 2 years ago. It was the last PSX they ever had.
There's like 3 people clapping.
They literally like all of a sudden it popped up and people were like, oh, okay, cool. Like no one was upset, but people were just like,
yeah, it's one of those things that are okay, all right.
The Outer Worlds came out October 25th on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. This is the one made by Obsidian Games. Mm-hmm. They made Fallout New Vegas.
Right.
This one's actually getting pretty decent reviews. I really want to play it this weekend because it's on Game Pass, and I have the PC Game Pass, but I just did not have time. It's installed on my computer. I'm hoping to play it and talk about it next week. But I didn't have time because I was playing another game, which I will talk about on What You Playing. And let's see, After Party came out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC on October 29th. Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 came out on Switch. So those were old PS3, PS4 games. They're now updated for the Switch. That came out October 29th. Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD came out on PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on October 29th. Vampire came out on Switch on October 29th. And then I know technically this is coming out tomorrow when you guys listen to this, because this episode comes out Wednesday, and usually I only talk about the stuff in the previous week and not the stuff in the next week. But on October 31st, Halloween, tomorrow, Luigi's Mansion 3 comes out on Switch. And it's getting really good reviews.
Is it?
Yeah, I loved the first Luigi's Mansion. It was an amazing game. And reviews are coming out for the third one. And so I just want to give you guys all a heads up. Everyone who has a Switch, go out and get Luigi's Mansion 3. I haven't picked it up yet, obviously, because it's not out yet. I'm still on the fence, actually, just because budget-wise, there's other games that are coming out, like
Death Stranding
and Pokemon and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is coming out next month. So it's like, that's... what, $180 right there in games that we got to spend on. We got to spend that on just those 3 games. So I don't know if Luigi's Mansion 3 is in the cards for me, but it is getting incredible reviews. So go check that out. Comes out tomorrow on the day this episode comes out. It'll be a fun little Halloween game for you and your family. Family friendly, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I know the first one was a lot of fun. I love the first one. That was on GameCube. So
it's coming at a perfect time shortly before Christmas, so that'd be one of those cool games to get for your kid for Christmas if you happen to be getting him a Switch Lite because you're being a cheap parent and you don't want to buy the full-blown regular Switch.
Right.
Just saying.
You know what really hurt my insides, my heart right now was saying that next month we're spending $180 in games.
That's pretty crazy.
I'm so glad we have our Patreon supporters.
Thank you.
Because if that was coming out of my budget, my wife would hang me.
Yes. She wants to hang him anyway.
She would quite literally kill me, shove me in a trunk, and push the car over a bridge.
You make Trudy sound so mean.
She's
like a really
not.
Sweet girl.
She's super sweet and super amazing.
But she'd kill you and push you over.
But that's something, me spending $180 on video games in 1 month, that's something that would like break something in her brain. Probably.
So $180 is like that's the line.
It's on video games. If I spent $180 on stupid video games, she'd be like, "What are you doing?"
But it was just Stranding.
It was I couldn't.
I didn't get Luigi's Mansion 3. I mean, I withheld. I held back.
Yeah, it could have been
right?
way too much more.
I showed constraint. Or restraint.
Constraint, restraint.
Samesies.
Same thing. So what you been playing?
All right. So here's the thing. This is a video game podcast, Garrett. This is about us.
We try.
This is about us playing video games, talking about video games,
watching TV shows, movies, that side, nerdy stuff.
Video games and nerdy stuff, and sometimes life gets in the way. So I did not play anything at all. So I'm sorry. Listen, I'm very busy. I'm a very busy man. I have a job, as evidenced by my work clothes that I'm still wearing. I would still be out servicing right now if I didn't go, "Hey, look at this," to my boss and then run the other way. I've become very good at that. It's the sleight of hand. I didn't get to play anything, and it sucks. I did put on Last of Us, the original. I put it on in hopes of playing. Title screen came on the screen, and I shared this with you earlier. Title screen was on the screen. I sat down in the chair, grabbed the controller, went to press the X button. Honest to God, door opens, change of scenery, family life starts to happen. I walk past the screen with the title screen 3 or 4 times. And I kept going, "I'm coming back for you, man. I'm coming back for you." And I never made it back, Garrett. And that was the saddest day of my life.
It's pretty sad. Pretty pathetic.
Yeah. So why don't you do us all a favor and regale us with the 3 days of video games that you countlessly played while I cried myself to sleep?
So first, before I want to get into the main game I played, one of the things I got last week, was it? Yeah, I think I got it last week sometime.
Syphilis?
No.
Diarrhea?
No. Not a disease. It was something more enjoyable than that.
Actually, those can be quite enjoyable when you get. I'm just saying.
No.
Cake?
I picked up for my birthday the 8-bit dough. I'm trying to read this box here. 8-bit dough SN30 Pro Plus Bluetooth gamepad. So you can see this here. Try to get the reflection off of that from the lights. See it. This sweet little controller was on sale on Amazon for like $40, normally like 50. I think that's right. Normally 50, and I got it for like 40. And this is the most amazing controller I've ever used.
More so than the DualShock?
I mean, I love my DualShock. Don't get me wrong. I'll always love my DualShock. I mean, so as far as like, I guess I should preface for PC, this thing's amazing. For Switch, this is amazing. So that's what I was going to say next. It works on Switch. It works on Windows. It works on Mac. It works on Android. It works on Steam. And they're working on support for iOS now that they have Apple Arcade and you can do remote play through PlayStation on your phones. So hopefully in the next couple of months I can use this on my iPhone. This controller is freaking amazing.
Is this Bluetooth? Is it hooked up Bluetooth?
It's Bluetooth, yeah.
Okay.
So it's, as you can see in the picture, it's kind of designed similarly to the Super Nintendo controller. And they have different color schemes. They have one that's all black. They have one that's just all gray. They have one that's white. And then there's this one with like the purple buttons and stuff to look more retro. The shape of it is kind of like the oval Super Nintendo controller, but you can see they added the 2 analog sticks. And then, so I think if you just buy the SN30, it's just the oval and with the analog sticks. If you buy the SN30 is actually just the oval, no analog sticks. SN30 Pro, oval, 2 analog sticks. SN30 Pro Plus is the analog sticks, and as you can see, it has like the 2 grips like a normal controller. So it doesn't look like a Super Nintendo controller. It's like a actual PlayStation or Xbox controller where it has like the hand grips.
I'd be interested. Can we open up the box and kind of check it out? Will you let me touch it?
It's not in the box.
It's not in the box. Wait. That's false advertising, man.
Shh,
You're going to do like an unboxing in here.
They're not supposed to know this is an empty
I thought
box.
I was going to get to hold it.
The controller's at home, man. I've been using it. It's awesome. I was actually planning on bringing it tonight and totally forgot when I left the house. I got here.
So you brought a box
No,
as
the box.
you brought an empty box as a prop?
I opened it here at the studio the other day, so
Who
the box is
does
already
that?
here. The box was here.
Man, I was going to see if it was a lickable controller.
Lickable?
Yeah, I have this thing where I'll lick them and just to see what they taste like.
Okay.
Well, they taste different, like they're different. And I heard 8-bit
Is that a new
dough.
show that we need to start?
JJ licks things.
JJ's controller corner, and you like test controllers, and the last thing you do is lick them. Like, yep, to do the taste test. You do like the stick test.
This tastes like Mario.
The stick test, the button test, the lick test.
Yeah, the D-pad sucks.
I think that's something we definitely need to start on YouTube.
No, I've heard a lot of great positive stuff about 8-bit dough. I'm really glad to hear that you're having positive.
So yeah, I've been using it on the Switch. Syncs up immediately with the Switch, no problems at all. Mm-hmm. I played it on the plane. Dude, that was like the most amazing thing to like set because the Switch has a kickstand in the back, pop the kickstand out, set it on my tray table on the plane because we flew to San Diego. And I was able, instead of like holding the controller all cramped and leaning over trying to see the screen and everything and just uncomfortable, I set the Switch down. I was able to sit back, recline my seat a little bit. Pull my
person behind you
out.
hates you.
Yeah, person behind me is hating me. I pull the controller out, set it on my gut, it's all sticking
your
out.
ample gut.
My dad bod going on here. And I was just able to sit back and relax on a plane and play a video game. It felt so weird. Like I was playing like Super Mario Maker.
Did you catch anybody else like eyeballing you going, man, I want to be playing with that guy?
I kept looking around. I was like, anyone checking me out? Anyone think I cool? No.
Nobody
no one
thought
cares.
cool.
No one cares.
Okay.
No one gives a crap. But No,
but if they would have known you were on the Super Gamer Boys.
If they knew I was a podcast host, they'd be falling over themselves.
Oh, yeah. Can you get your autographs?
But no, it was seriously like just on the plane itself, I was like, this is amazing. Like, this is such a much better experience than hunching over a Switch, normally. And even taking the Joy-Cons off, it's not the same because then they're separate. Like then you have one, your right hand, left hand. It just feels weird. It's not like playing on a controller. So to have a connected physical controller, just relax, sit back. Yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. And then, and I used it down in San Diego too. I was playing with my brother-in-law, a little more Minecraft. He's the one who got me hooked to Minecraft in the first place. Shout out to Toby. Yeah, it was a blast. Like using this for Minecraft is way easier than the Joy-Cons and stuff. So it just feels more familiar, even though all the buttons are the same on the Switch. It just feels different because it's a different shape and size, and like the buttons are small. Like this has like full size buttons. Like actually it's not hard to find any of the buttons on here. Like everything feels solid, sturdy, has a good like a vibration feature in it is great. Like the buttons are big and responsive. I highly recommend it.
So you got this 8BitDo controller for your birthday.
I got some
week for your birthday week.
I got some cash for my birthday and I turned around to spend it on Amazon.
Okay, so this was actually you buying this for yourself.
Yeah,
for your birthday.
Happy birthday to me.
That's how it works, folks. That's how it works.
And that is how it works. I mean, I got birthday money. What else are you going to do with the birthday? I'm not going to just sit on that. That burns a hole straight through the wallet. But, I highly recommend this. If anything, I want to give my review. Definitely get this. Yeah, like I said, it works on Switch, Windows, Android, Mac OS, Steam, Raspberry Pi. If you have one of those Raspberry Pis with emulators and stuff, works with that as well. And yeah, hopefully soon the iOS. So check it out. I actually have, this is the same company that sells that adapter that I use. Remember, because I had that adapter so I can use my DualShock 4 on my Switch. Yeah. Or on my PC or on anything the heck I want.
That still seems like witchcraft to me, right? But okay.
So it's just a little, rectangular plastic thing. You just plug in the USB and it works. My PlayStation 4 controller. So
I believe they call that a dongle.
It is called a dongle.
See that? You folks thought I was stupid, but I'm only dumb. There's a difference.
Yeah. Okay, now let's get into the meat of what I've been playing.
Ooh.
I was not using the 8BitDo controller, but I was using my PlayStation 4 controller in San Diego. But get this, I didn't have my PlayStation 4 with me.
What?
So how did I play Call of Duty Modern Warfare with my PlayStation 4 controller in San Diego?
What type of witchcraft is this, Garrett?
I did it with the magic of remote play.
Aha, so you used remote play.
On my laptop, yeah.
I remember when you originally tried remote play 6 months ago, or maybe a little more, you weren't a huge fan of it.
So at that point, I had slower internet, and the place I was at had really slow internet. That's a big key. Okay. So recently we upgraded the internet at home because we've been doing so much video uploading now. I was like, I need faster upload speeds. So we have faster upload speeds, freaking crazy download speeds for anything I would ever need. So my PlayStation was at home, hooked directly into the modem. So internet's flying at home, no big deal. I was a little worried because the internet at my in-laws' place, San Diego, can sometimes be iffy. It's actually amazing. It was perfect. I set up my laptop, plugged in my PS4 controller through the USB cord, brought up the remote play app, logged into all you do is log into your PlayStation Network account, and boom, it just immediately connected. I could see my dash on my PlayStation. And I played, get this, okay, all you guys call me fake gamer, never finish games, I'm a loser, I'm not fit to host this podcast.
I mean, we all say that.
Everyone says that. They say it in the Discord, they say it on Twitter, JJ says it to my face.
I say it to your face all the time. I do say it.
This weekend, I beat Call of Duty Modern Warfare in one weekend.
The heck you say?
I beat the entire campaign so I could tell all you lovely listeners about this game.
That is like the most unusual thing ever.
And prove that I am not a fake gamer.
Apparently, he is not a fake gamer now. Oh, your brother-in-law made you do it. Yeah.
Okay. Did not make me do it.
It's making sense. It's making sense. It's making sense now. So basically what happened was you got down there, you're hanging out with your brother-in-law, and he's, a lot bigger than you, a lot more physical than you are. He's what, like 6'3", big guy. He probably made you feel insignificant and less of a man. So you felt like you had to fight for your wife's honor. So you dueled him by playing Modern Warfare the whole game.
Nah, I could take him down. He listens to this podcast.
I wouldn't say that.
I feel like I'm gonna get a text
guy.
now. Like,
he's gonna beat the crap.
Yeah,
out
I'm gonna get a text now. Like, what did you say? he definitely. It's one of our Patreon supporters, Tobin Dalton. Thanks so much for supporting us.
You're the man, Tobin.
I could take him down. I could take him.
Yeah, I really don't think I've seen Tobin, and I've Facebook stalked him, and he's kind of a big guy, and. I wouldn't try to mess with him if I were you. And plus, he also supports us on Patreon. So.
I probably couldn't take him down. But I beat the entirety of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I didn't get to play any multiplayer because I spent all my time, all my playing time. I shouldn't say all my time because the entire weekend was made up of basically helping my in-laws get switched over to their new iDevices. I got a new iPad, new iPhone.
I was just wondering if you were going to share the real story or if you were going to like have a truncated.
No, I mean that's
spend time with family. Period.
I think that's all the story I'll share. But yeah, I spent majority of the time just doing that. 3 days doing that. So I found time at nights to play my game after everyone went to bed. Fortunately, everyone in the family goes to bed
after
early.
He tucked everybody else into bed, put mints on their pillows, and dusted the couch.
Fortunately, everyone goes to bed early. So at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, I was golden. I was able to just plop down the couch, pop open the laptop, and play until I fell asleep on the couch, basically.
Did Master Tobin stay up with you to play?
The first couple times he did, yeah. He stayed up and watched. The last night, he went to bed a little earlier. He missed the ending. But I told him about it the next day. We were at breakfast, and I was like, here's when it went down. But, dude, this campaign mode is seriously, like, it's probably one of the best Call of Duty campaign stories I've played in a long time. I loved the original Modern Warfare. I love Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 3 was great too. I know 2 and 3 I know 3 is like not necessarily typically revered by most people. I loved all the Modern Warfare series. I thought they were good for what they were, especially the first 2. Black Ops again was another Call of Duty game, spectacular story. But it's been a long time since we've had a good Call of Duty story campaign, and that's why I play Call of Duty. A lot of people are like, "Nah, you get Call of Duty for the multiplayer." Screw it. Like, there's people who buy the game and don't even touch the story because they've always had such amazing multiplayer, and that's what people care about. Me, as you all know, that's the reason I'm such a Sony pony, because I love stories in games. I love playing single player story oriented, single player oriented games where I can just connect with a character, connect with a story, connect with an emotion.
This also happens when people don't have friends.
And when you don't have friends, I have no one else to talk to.
But he does have cousins and now one brother-in-law that he can hang out with and occasionally play video games.
I have a couple brother-in-laws.
Only one of them like you.
We won't talk about that. No, no, just kidding. But dude, this story was seriously like the best. Like, this might be my favorite Call of Duty story. And even, to be honest, this story might be up there with some of the other PlayStation exclusives I played in the last couple of years.
It was that good of a story.
Like, a lot of people might think I'm exaggerating, or maybe I'm totally off my rocker here. But I don't know. I was telling you earlier today, I was like, this story was on par. Like, I could only compare it to blockbuster movies. Like, I was like, I don't know, like Saving Private Ryan, or like there's even some aspects where it's like, man, I felt like Matt Damon and like the Bourne series, like the Bourne trilogy. Like, it was like top-notch AAA blockbuster and like original and innovative, and the story just hit on a different level. It wasn't just those things. It wasn't just like the blockbuster aspects of it, like, oh, I'm watching a crazy blockbuster movie right now. There was so much more emotion behind it. First of all, the graphics are beautiful. Like, it is seriously the most beautiful game ever. Like, especially the cutscenes. I'm like, holy crap, this looks like real people.
Wow.
I was like, this looks real. And that was streaming at 720p on my laptop over 400 miles away. Like my PlayStation was 400 miles away from me on a crappy, 720p connection. I can't imagine. I want to fire it up when I get home tonight on 4K and see it because it was amazing. But yeah, so it not only hit on that blockbuster aspect, but on such an emotional aspect where there is stories where it's just like you really get behind. You really get to know a couple of the main characters, and this isn't really a spoiler because it was talked about in preview events previously by different news outlets and stuff, but there's a mission where you play as this little girl. Like you actually play as this little girl, and it's like 20 years previously. It's supposed to be kind of like a prequel kind of little mission. I mean, it takes place like in the middle of the game, but it's to help you understand who this character is you've been interacting with and where they come from. And you're this little girl, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years old, in this fictional Middle Eastern country of Urzikstan. And then the Russians are attacking, and they're using what I think is supposed to be like a fictionalized version, some sort of version of like a white phosphorus gas, which essentially like burns your skin and burns your lungs and it kills you. Like it's used today. It's considered a war crime. Like you're not supposed to use this. No country is supposed to use this. She sees family members killed, and then there's parts of the mission where like you pick up a knife and you pick up an AK-47, like a 7-year-old girl, and trying to sneak your way out with your brother. And it's just like and there's moments like that throughout where it's just like, whew, this is a heavy game. Like there's a lot to this. This is not like your typical goofy, silly running around, oh, it's Call of Duty, I'm doing a cool sniper mission. It's like, oh man. And there's even, what I think is cool too, there's moments throughout the game where they give you choices and decisions to make now. There's a moment, which was super controversial. This was also part of the preview event that we've talked about on a previous news story, where you're clearing out, it takes place after like a London bombing type thing. Like that plays out in the game. And you show up at this house after the bombing. I think it's supposed to take place after the bombing or something. And you're basically going through and clearing this house of terrorists, trying to find, this specific target. And there's a moment where you like go into this room. It's pitch black. You use night vision goggles. You're clearing this house floor by floor, and you will bust open this door, and your gun's drawn. Like you go right, the other guy goes left. You boom, boom, take out 2 targets in the dark, like real quick, like, and then all of a sudden there's this like you see a third person. You go to shoot, and then you realize, oh shoot, they're running across the room, and they pick up a baby. It's a mother with a baby. And then the baby starts crying, and you're trying to be stealthy. And there's actually like a moment where it's just like, what do I do here? Like, we're trying to be quiet and stealthy here. And like, technically, like this lady is a terrorist. Like, do you shoot this lady? What do you do about the baby? Like, what is going on here? Like, that's all going through your head. And I made the decision, like, I left the woman alone. Like, and that's one of those things that's just like,
oh, Garrett, no.
I left the baby. I went upstairs.
You go up and double tap her. And like put one in the kid, you know what I mean? I mean,
horrible.
You're
a horrible person.
You grow up to be a terrorist, bro.
Maybe not. Maybe because I spared them, they won't.
They're gonna be your doom.
But what I did though, like that was one of those choices where it's just like there are players who maybe killed the mother, and there are choices, whether it's intentional or not. Like maybe it's accident, like just boom, boom, boom. Like maybe some people's walked in there and just quick killed everyone, and then realized like when they look over and there's a crib with a baby, like, oh shoot, like what did I do? And like those are the moments that they throw you into like multiple times throughout the game. And I know we talked like everyone's probably already heard these experiences because they were in preview events months ago and we talked about it before. But now experiencing it for myself, I'm like, holy crap! Like that was intense. Like it's not just like a Call of Duty game where you just run and gun. It's
I've never wanted to play a Call of Duty game until right now.
There's like decisions where it's like these are hard, heavy decisions where like they give you a lot of choices throughout the game where like, do you kill this person or not kill this person? And every time you feel sick to your stomach, like if I don't kill this person, it could come back to bite me in the butt. If I kill this person, I have to live with that. Even though it's a video game, like you get that connected though. The story is so good. I'm like, holy crap.
I want you folks to know that right now, Garrett is pouring his heart out into this review of this game, and I can't wait to play
almost
it.
Tearing up right now.
This is an emotional story. But I want you to know the moment he turns the cameras off and says, okay, we're done, he's going to turn right over to me and say, oh no, I killed that kid. I killed the lady and I put one in the kid.
Did not kill the kid.
Garrett, let's just be honest to who you are. You're a horrible human being. And I know your heart.
I know you try to.
Gamer, and you're just mean.
I'm not a fake gamer. I finished this game in 2 days.
What I heard was Tobin finished it while you were there, and you watched him playing it. It technically doesn't mean that you finished it, just so you know. Look at that, Moreline drinking coffee like a man, loving it.
But yeah, so I definitely highly, I would give this game 8.5 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Like it's up there for games this year. It's going to be up there for my game of the year, which is not my game of the year, but my top, like if I had to do a top 10 list, it's going to be up in my top 10 game of the years for sure. Like it's amazing. I've not played multiplayer yet. Like I said, I spent all weekend trying to get through the campaign because I want to talk about that. I'm hoping to be able to spend some time this week playing through the campaign. The campaign is the multiplayer is cross-platform. It is the first big AAA game with cross-platform. I can play whether you're on Xbox, PS4, PC, we can all play together. So if any of you guys out there are playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare or thinking about getting it and you're on the fence, get it. Hit me up, let me know. You can send a message on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, to either Super Gamer Boys account, my personal account. You can go to our website and email us through the portal there. I want to play with friends. I think it'd be awesome if any of you listeners out there, if you guys are playing, let me know because it'd be cool to do like the 2v2. So I just, if even one of you guys want to hook up and play that game, it'd be sweet.
Or if you need to reach him, you could always reach out to me on Twitter because I'm on there constantly.
No.
So, what?
Dude, you retweeted the first time in like 9 months just the other day. Like you're not on there.
No, that was a test. I was just making sure that the process was still working. I thought Twitter was broken, to be perfectly honest.
Right. So, yeah, no, the game's amazing. And, I started the conversation talking about how I did remote play. Remote play seriously worked like 99% of the time. It was flawless. There was seriously only like 4 or 5 times total out of the 7 or 8 hours I played the campaign.
Wow.
Like maybe 4 or 5 times where it would just lag for a couple seconds. Like, where all of a sudden, like it'd be like totally good, like high frame rate, well, as high as it can be over the streaming. And then all of a sudden it'd be like, and then it'd be back to normal. Like it was just like for a couple seconds. So I feel like over 8 hours of gameplay and it only glitched out for like a total of out of those. So if you combine all 5 of those times, it was maybe 20, 25 seconds of glitching, lagging out.
It's pretty great, actually.
That's really good. So I highly recommend it. If you have, decent internet at home and it's plugged directly into your, I kind of have a perfect setup. I have good internet at home and I have it plugged directly into the modem. But I was playing on Wi-Fi on the laptop at my in-laws' house with only halfway decent internet. No problems at all.
I hope nobody's keeping score at home that Garrett has played so much more video games than me.
It's because I take this job seriously.
Apparently.
I'm calling you out.
I take this job very seriously too. You do the research and
Okay.
I do what I can.
Well, I know what else I got when I was in San Diego.
Syphilis,
No,
clap,
stop.
gonorrhea.
No, you
What?
should.
Sure you didn't get any of those?
For my birthday week, my brother-in-law, Tobin, got me some sweet Metal Gear Solid action figures, and they're right back here on the shelf. Check it out.
That's sweet. Garrett got some more dolls.
This is
freaking awesome.
Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid 2. Look at that. This is has his pistol in hand. He has his famous machine gun on his back. No, that's not it. But
that's like 2 of them.
Oh, we got
and
2 snakes.
Like one's bigger. Hey, I'm bigger than you, and I got a gun, and I put it in your face, and I blow your face away. Why did you shoot me in the face? Why are you being so shooty? I swear, dude, whatever. I kicked you in the sack, dog.
And then this is a Liquid Snake from Metal Gear Solid 1. Dog tags and everything. Shredded abs. Looks just like me when I take my shirt off. So, yeah.
Wait a second. Is that dude's name Liquid? Seriously?
Liquid Snake and Solid Snake. They're brothers. Twin brothers. Don't they look alike?
They don't look anything alike.
Well, it's because they're clones.
Yeah, I don't.
You're going to break it.
No, it's fine.
Dude.
It's just dolls.
Something just fell off.
It's just dolls. That's extra parts. They have extra. There's always extra parts when you open
This is why we can't have nice things.
We're okay. Just get it out of here. Stop playing with toys, Garrett. We got a show to do.
No.
Actually, we're closing up the show.
Actually, that's the only reason I brought out my toys.
Okay.
So.
Can I still play with them after we turn it off?
I mean, only if you're gentle with them.
Yeah, I'll be gentle.
Thank you guys so much for listening and watching our podcast. It's been a pleasure doing the show for you guys. If you haven't already, go check us out, patreon.com/supergamerboys. Like I said earlier, just tossing $1 our way, $1 a month. That helps tremendously. If all you guys just, gave $1, that would be enough for at least another game every month for us to review and talk about. Thanks to you guys supporting. That's why I was able to get some like Death Stranding and a couple of those other games next month. So
we really appreciate it. And thank you guys to all of our supporters. If you can help out just a little bit, it'd be awesome. Garrett does have a Coke addiction. So
Coca-Cola.
Whatever you want to call it. But if you guys could help, that would be phenomenal.
You can also, if you could please, go over and review us at your favorite podcast app or device or service or whatever they call it. iTunes is preferred. That's kind of like the big boy in podcasting service. Go over to iTunes, leave us a review, leave us 5 stars. You can find us during the week, supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys, facebook.com/supergamerboys. I'm on Twitter at @GMorlang.
I am on Twitter at JJPurdom.
Thank you so much to Star Andrews for our logo. You can check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics and facebook.com/Ground Floor Graphics. Is there anything else? We have merch on our store, supergamerboys.com/store. Keep an eye out for the Purdom Morlang 2020 shirt.
Yep. And also, he's got a shirt where it's each of our faces, and both of us are looking like he's the left nipple and like I'm the right one. And it's like kind of weird. Like we're looking over at each other and we're like in the nipple region. It's pretty cool. Get that on patreon.com/ what?
Yeah. The things you come up with in your little brain. If you design that shirt, I'll put it on there. If you can figure out how to run it.
Nipple JJ and Nipple Garrett?
If you can figure out how to run a computer and design a t-shirt like that.
You don't even know, dude. Would you take crayons on like a construction paper maybe?
No, it has to be a Photoshop file. You can give me a...
I can do this.
Adobe
you guys
Photoshop
wait.
file.
I'll bring it into the studio next week. I'm printing it up off of my...
No, I don't want a print copy. I want a digital file. You can figure out how to get me a thumb drive with a digital file.
If you guys can help me do that, reach out at JJPurdom, and you guys can help me make nipple shirts.
No cheating. If I get an email from anyone with a Photoshop file with our faces on nipples and a t-shirt.
Nipple shirts, folks. This is the
That's
newest.
That's cheating. JJ has to do it himself.
I can do it. We'll work it out. You guys just reach out to me at JJPurdom.
Don't work out. Don't reach out. It's not allowed. It's against the rules.
It's been awesome this week. You guys are awesome. This was a lot of information that we just crammed down your throat holes. So we really look forward to you coming back and joining us right here in the studio, because he's Garrett and I'm JJ and we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we'll catch you on the flippity flop.